guys, FHG here with some more AFK Arena, and today we're looking at the hunting fields. And ultimately it was an idea from a viewer that said, hey, what about doing the hunting fields with all of your accounts? So essentially going through and adding your own accounts, which is exactly what we did. So there's been a couple strats that we're going to talk today. When it comes to the hunting field, I did start this very, very late on these accounts. But if you look here, we do have, there we go, we have FHG, we have our Light Bear account, we have the Maulers, we do have, there we go, the Wilders, and I do have the Graveborn. So essentially from the time that I started AFK Arena with the faction accounts, we've been waiting for an event like this because I can actually play it all by myself. And of course, the main account does have Celestial Hypogeans and Dimensionals. Most of them are pretty well built, meaning that we could have a solid carry through here. So what we've seen, some of the tips and tricks is one, saving relics till you get to attack the bosses. So essentially when it comes to the material that you need inside the bag, what I did, and we'll see right here. So there we go. We have 5 of our Challenger Seals. You only receive Challenger Seals when you go up in levels, meaning that you essentially have really 2 options. Either one by one, you can slowly build your team within yourself, meaning that you can go ahead and I can take the heroes that I have here. I can go ahead and level them up. I can give them all of my materials, or what a lot of the top guilds are doing and a lot of the top players are doing is go ahead and take all of your essence. So the essence we picked up here, actually going right here, gifting it to another player. So here we're going to go ahead and give 129 to the Graveborn team. So now I cannot build my relics on this. But ultimately what we're doing here is, if you do look in your bag, we have 5 right here. These 5 are for Team Graveborn. So essentially what I'm hoping to do is they've been taking all of the Challenger Seals, feeding them to one player, feeding them all of the resources. So essentially just passing them over to another player to allow the player to build up very, very strong heroes very early in the hunting fields, meaning that they are going to be the boss killers. So essentially, once you get to here, the other teams will lag a little bit behind, or the other players will lag behind, but you will have a absolutely huge advantage when it comes to attacking the bosses because you're going to be completely maxed out. You'll have your tier 2, you'll have your tier 3 troops very, very early because everyone in a combined effort is taking the hunter marks and actually swapping them over to essentially one hero to go ahead and do those attacks. And especially when you have 4 players that are giving everything to one hero, even when you pick up some of the relics, passing them right onto that other player to, again, build them up very, very fast. And ultimately the one player, so my Graveborn account that we're using is going to take land. They are not going to use any stamina for movement. 0 stamina, guys, because remember, when it comes to the stamina, that is going to be the boss. So the boss does not take those Challenger Seals. The boss does take straight up stamina. But ultimately, like I said, you have to have your team strong enough to be able to fight the boss. Or what a lot of players are finding is right now they can't even fight the boss yet, because when you go to attack, it says your team, your top 5 heroes power rating is too low. So even when they have 1 or 2 of the level 3 or the class 3 heroes, they still don't have enough total power to even attack the boss, which is exactly where my team is over on the other account. We're building up enough power to attack the boss, but as of right now, we cannot, because we went and spread our resources pretty thin, didn't focus on one person to go ahead and do those attacks. So essentially, like I was saying earlier, we're taking everything, we're going to feed everything to our Graveborn account. When everything gets on the Graveborn account, I'm going to go for Grez, I'm going to go for Isolde, and Silas are going to be the 3 main ones, followed by Isabella for damage, as well as Oden. I'm hoping that team comp is going to go well. Silas, of course, with the healing, but ultimately I want to go for Grez and Isolde, which it may be a total bust when it comes to this, but very, very cool to see that we're running a account by ourselves. And then actually I'm going to put my free-to-play account in here as a support or as a spectator. So we'll actually go ahead and hop in here with my spectator account to go ahead and get some loot. So ultimately, guys, beef up or give your resources to one hero. So with the bag, essentially when I have resources coming in here, so when I start getting relics, I'm going to drop them all into the shared bag. That way the Graveborn team, again, can recycle through those shared relics and really power up the team very fast. Essentially, the other 4 players are going to lag behind. My other 4 accounts are going to lag behind slightly, but they're going to be used for movement. They're going to go ahead and feed everything that we can get to that Graveborn. So let's look at the leaderboards really quick. There we go. We got a couple of casual teams on there. We got Weeb in there, a couple, and ultimately looking here, 28,4332. So you can see exactly where the teams are feeding one hero right here, Duck Phoenix. They are feeding one hero everything, and that is why they are on the very top. Is the one player they're feeding all of the resources to makes them super powerful, meaning that when they go ahead and attack the boss, and they can attack the boss, usually it's going to be one shot, and that's it. So essentially, if you have 5 bosses, which we do here, so we have 1, 2, 3. Once you kill these bosses, you actually get another boss right up here, and then you get one boss, which is over here. But you figure first zone, which is kind of before this door, you got 5 bosses. So you have 5 bosses in total, meaning the one player that you're making very strong has 1 shot, 1 kill. That is right. 1 shot to take down the boss in its entirety, because you only get 5 seals and you only want to use 5 seals in here. If you go through and level up, burn all of your seals, use 10 seals to defeat 5 bosses. When you get to the next zone, especially when you get towards the end zones up here, you're not going to have enough seals to take down the bosses, which is what a lot of teams are experiencing when it comes to the test server. They run out of seals on the later bosses, and the later bosses are very tough because, again, they don't have enough seals to go ahead and kill out those bosses because they're not strong enough. Literally, if you're taking your team and building up the resources across all 5 versus all 5 doing one very strong account, that is the boss killer account, it makes it very difficult because you can't do enough damage, or you won't do enough damage to take them down efficiently. 1 attack, 2 at the very most should take down a boss. If you're burning 4 seals, if you're burning 5 seals to take down a boss, when you get further into here, because remember, there's only a couple levels. We do get more seals later, but ultimately you can even see here the Graveborn account is the strongest one here because, again, I've been stockpiling them. So essentially when I go ahead later tonight, I'm going to stockpile everything. Then we're going to look at the team Graveborn and we'll go ahead and do our attacks. And I'm hoping with having Isolde built, with having Grez, and with having Silas, the combination of those will do enough damage on the bosses to take them down, is what I'm hoping, which again, it could be a total bust, but this is the team. It is FHG. That is the name of the team. So we're making some progression there, but very cool to see, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think and what strat you're using for this. We've tried a couple different things, and some of it has worked really well, like feeding one player, building the group up. We've actually been, like I said earlier, we've been stuck at this gate because we don't have any players that are strong enough to get through this gate. Because again, we built up too many heroes, and also focusing on one team as the essentially the boss killing team. So here I have my Celestials and my Hypogeans, my Dimensionals. So essentially when you're feeding everything to one hero, make 5 heroes that are going to be your boss killing team. Essentially it's either going to be the Wilders with Saurus, it's going to be Isolde when it comes to the Graveborn, the Celestials and Dimensionals, it is Lucy. Lucretia has been absolutely dominating in there because not only can you put her in there, you can combine her with Mortis, you can combine her with the twins, you can make a very super powerful Lucretia, ultimately, which is burning down teams. Most of the top heroes that I've seen in the leaderboards are from that itself. That is with the maxed out 9 of 9 plus 40 signature item. Lucretia is burning down bosses in a split second because they have the twins and they have Mortis for the buffs, which is super powerful, guys. So again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know what formations you guys are using. And as always, thank you guys for watching.